Hello everyone and welcome to this class. Today we will be talking about tied notes. So at the end of this class, it is expected that every pupil should be able to identify tied notes separate from slurred notes. They should also be able to compute the time values of tied notes. But before we go on to describe what tied notes are, let's do a quick review of these note symbols. We know that this first symbol right here is the semibreve and it has a time value of 4 bits. The next one right here is the minim, having a time value of 2 bits. The third one is the crotchet, having a time value of 1 bit. And finally I meant to say the next one is the quiver, having a time value of half a bit. And finally we have the semiquaver with a time value of 1/4 of a bit. So then what is a tie? A tie in music is a curved line used to join 2 or more notes of the same exact pitch. So here you see that we have a note right here. Okay, the note head is on the second space on the staff of the treble staff. That means this is a note A. And you see this note here, the same exact pitch. It's on the same exact space on the staff. And right here you have this curved line joining both of them together. Now this curved line is what is known as the tie. Okay, so a tie is a curved line, this curved line that is used to join 2 or more notes, these 2 notes having the same exact pitch. That's what a tie is. So a quick quiz, what is a tie? Okay, you have this image here as some sort of clue for you. And if you use that appropriately, you should know that a tie in music is a curved line used to join 2 or more notes of the same exact pitch. Now it's important to note that only identical notes can be tied together. In other words, here you see that we have a note A, and here this is another note A, and that's why we can tie both of them together. Only identical notes can be tied together. That would mean that only a note C can only be tied to another note C. A note F can only be tied to another note F, and so on and so forth. When unidentical notes are tied together, it is not a tie anymore, but it's actually known as a slur. So here you see that I have a note A here, and here I have another one, middle C. Okay. Now you see that there's a curved line joining notes A to middle C. That curved line is not a tie anymore, it's now known as a slur. So it's important that we're able to identify the difference between tied notes and slurred notes. Okay, I have a quick quiz here, and this one says only identical notes can be tied together. True or false? Well, the answer is actually true. When unidentical notes are tied together, it is known as a dash. Okay, if you have been listening, you know that it is known as a slur. Now, it is possible to tie more than one note together, provided they are all of the same pitch. Okay, so here you see I have this note on the third line of the staff. Here the note is on the third line, third line, third line. Everything is on that third line. As a matter of fact, they have the same pitch, so it is possible to tie all of them together, as you can see in the picture. So it's possible to actually tie more than 2 notes together, provided they are all of the same pitch. I have a quick quiz here. Can you tie several notes of identical pitch together? The answer is yes. Okay, so a tie can be written above or below the tied musical notes. What I'm trying to say here is that I can write my tie this way, with the tie being under the notes, provided it is pointing to the note head. And I can write it above the notes like that. Again, as you can see that the tie is pointing to the note heads. Quick quiz, a tie can be written dash or dash the tied musical notes. The answer should be below or above. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. How does a tie affect the time value of a note? Well, a tie extends a note's time value by adding the value of all the joined notes together. So you see, these two notes are joined, and what we are going to do is that we are going to take the value of these two notes and add them together. If you were listening to the review at the beginning of the class, you remember that this is a minim with a time value of 2 bits. This is also a minim with a time value of 2 bits. If you take those 2 bits and you add them together, what you will get will be 4 bits. So the time value of this tied note is actually 4 bits. This is what it means. It means that you're not going to play 2 separate notes, okay? Each of them should have 2 bits. So you're not going to play the first note with 2 bits and then play a second one with 2 bits. But what you're actually going to do is to play one very long note with a total of 4 bits. You're going to sound one note with a total of 4 bits. Yeah, this is what I was just trying to example. It's not. This is what I was just trying to explain. Instead of playing 2 notes, we just play one note